You guys didn't think I could stay away forever, did you? We're back on Revontuli Coast at... Sir 12? You cold? That's fine. We'll let him do his thing. Working and lurking sounds good at you. Is it bad? I wish this was Way the Hunter. I mean... I think that says a lot about how good Way the Hunter's done. Way the Hunter kind of boring? It just depends on what you're looking for in a hunting game. I really enjoy it. I have way too much fun. I've barely been able to leave that game. Hot Dog. That was my nickname in high school. Look at the poll he put up. What did it end up at? It was like 60, 63, 37 or something, which honestly, I think says more about Way the Hunter's popularity than anything. Because, remember Way the Hunter's only available on like newer gen consoles and PCs, so there's a percentage of people that are probably less interested in it because they have no access to it. I've made a bad decision here. We're just gonna go down here. Oof. Hello there. I do have the 12 gauge today because 12. Are you gonna fly into the? That's alright. Finally called a lot. I'm excited. I'm excited to be back on Revontuli Coast. Honestly, we still need the diamond geese and the diamond raccoon dog, so I'm hoping we can cross one of those off. I don't know if it was our last hunt on Revontuli necessarily. It was the last stream for sure. I guess we had a video since then, like showing off those kills. But the last time we did a stream out here, we had the diamond lynx, we had a orange raccoon dog. What was the third thing? Oh, just a diamond green wing, or Eurasian teal. Love the turkey hunting video with Isaac. Well, thank you, man. That one was pretty cool to edit, because for one, there was pretty consistently like something going on, whether it was, you know, audio back and forth or actually getting video of turkeys. I think that's the best like season of turkey footage we've had so far. But then obviously him getting the harvest and stuff was quite neat. That's how physics works? Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. What's up, Gabe? 5 inches of snow in Michigan. Nice. When was the last time we had snow? I feel like it was right when we got home from Christmas, basically. How many diamonds have you killed? Good question. Our total is at 981. We'll hit 1,000 this year. That said 1281, by the way. The glitch that occurred when Bloodhounds came out like almost 3 years ago threw the count off, but it is off by exactly 300, so it's easy to figure out. Imagine having turkeys in your home county. Imagine not. Snow that I have melting. Oof. What's up, Cooper? Got 2 diamond Eurasian teal in the same flock. Really? That's kind of cool. I feel like that used to occur a little bit more with mallards and stuff, but since the reworks and especially the new species, that's gotta be quite rare. 2 level 3s or like a level 2 diamond and a 3? Biggest tips for playing this game. Honestly, hunting around water is probably the biggest tip I can give anyone, because you'll notice, and actually we can just look at zones to determine that, all around these lakes, I mean almost all of these are feed and rest zones. You see a drink zone there, but so often animals that are not even drinking are within, say, 200 meters of water. So if you're consistently hunting around water, you're bound to run into stuff. And eventually, if you keep doing that, it's gonna be good stuff. Excited for Friday's stream. Should I give a little sneak peek of what's gonna happen?
Sure.
Not even a sneak peek, really. So we're gonna try Way the Hunter multiplayer, which I think we'll try it before that and like make sure everything works. But Kyla's gonna join us on Friday. We're gonna run around, shoot big males. I don't know what we're gonna do actually, but I'm sure we'll find something. When will you make a new grind? I don't know. I guess in theory, like by definition, what we're doing for like raccoon dogs and stuff here on Revontuli Coast is kind of a grind. I don't know if I'll do future Great One grinds. It just depends. I prefer the wandering aspect, like what we're doing today. If we run into something cool, we'll take it, but we're not like, you know, jumping from tent to tent, shooting everything repetitively. I don't know. That starts to stray pretty far from any type of actual hunting at that point. But if you do want the, you know, the great ones and stuff, that's kind of what has to happen. With Hunter multipliers, in other words, you're going to use Kyla for a decoy. I mean, maybe. Is it bad that I'd rather grind for a different... Wait, I'd rather grind for different diamonds instead of grinding for a great one? I don't think that's bad. I mean, diamond grinds can be challenging enough depending on the species. We did the red fox grind. It was 700 and, I don't know if it was 720, 770, over 700 anyway. And we never even got a diamond. Went into multiplayer, ended up getting a diamond that way. And then, you know, we were, I guess, not done with the grind, but basically called off the grind because we got a diamond in another way. We came back, like, I don't know, a year later to Yukon, and there was a diamond fox on our map. We had gotten there, and had I just spent a little more time, I'm sure we would have found it and gotten the single player diamond, but it took nearly 800 kills, basically, to get a single diamond to spawn. They can be plenty challenging in their own right. Have you shot anything good? I don't think we've shot anything, period, at this point. I tried something different today. We're at 10:39 in game right now. My thought process is every time we hunt raccoon dogs, we're hunting them basically early morning into early afternoon. 2 real life hours, the length of this stream, is 8 hours in game. So if we start about 5 a.m., we're making it to like 1 p.m. So for this, we're starting at about 10 a.m. and then we're going to go to like 6 p.m., basically just before dark. And I just want to see what that does, if we find more, if we find less, if we, you know, don't find a single raccoon dog and have to shift gears, we'll see. But I just figured it'd be good to completely switch up the strategy and see if that helps. Am I bad? I guess so. Just got my first 300 plus moose earlier, nice. I'm just like you, I'd rather hunt around. I get really bored grinding whitetail or moose. I don't even know if I get bored grinding them. I don't know what it is. It just kind of feels like, I guess maybe it's that even with that, you start to diminish the trophies a little bit. It's always just cooler, like, when they're completely out of the blue. This might give us a chance. I have been shooting a bunch of geese off camera, by the way. So, if we were to run into, like, a diamond goose, that would be quite nice. The odds that we hit this are negative 12. Whoa, nice breath. Alright. One of these days we'll kill something. Is the new pistol DLC worth it? The 243 handgun on its own is pretty worth it, wherever I have that in my loadout. But it's really only worth it if you find that, like, with your normal loadouts, say on Revontuli Coast, Rancho, like, specifically maps that require a shotgun, I think is where it's most important. If you find that you can't carry all the weapons that you want to because you run out of space, the 243 handgun really helps us solve that. Do multiplayer competitions benefit you in any way? The only thing is they show up in somewhere. This? Don't mind the fact that I've died 1,000 times in this game, but they show up here. It does nothing for you. There's no, like, maybe there's an achievement to win 1? I don't know. But there's no, like, win 50 multiplayer competition achievements or anything like that. Maybe one. Other than that, they're just there for fun. AFC, thank you for the super chat. Hope we reach 400k by the end of the year. That is the goal. We'll see if we can get there. I feel like we can. Every time that, like, I sit there and think, like, maybe a goal is not going to happen, the community always takes me by surprise and makes it happen. And, it'd be cool to get to do another 24-hour stream. We've never done one with Shadow, so that will be interesting, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. What's the goal species today? I guess ultimately it's raccoon dog, but kind of just whatever. I really like this map. I like just running around. It has a tendency, other than today for some reason, to just, like, constantly produce potential trophies. Just, you always have, whether it's bird species, whether it's moose, whether it's even raccoon dogs, there's always something there. And it makes it fun to hunt. It's really fun to stream as well. Again, other than today, because, like, things are just not showing up. This moose will change us around. You think we'll ever get a bolt action 7mm? That's funny you say that, because I have the break action 7mm today. I hope so. That would be if they went with the same weapon classes. Did that miss? God, this is great. Shot too low, I guess. If they went with the same weapon classes, I think it would be a little, like, almost game-changing, which that would definitely sell the weapon pack DLCs, so mayhaps. Do you happen to remember how many subs you had back in December 2019? I'm sure I could find out, but I don't know. Kyla, what are you doing out here?
Showing love, my guy.
Well, thank you for showing love. You are too kind. Congrats on 360k sibs. Why, thank you. Wow. What's up, Lord Cole? Me good, man. How about you? Wish I started a YouTube in 2019? I mean, basically from, I don't know, 2019, 2020 on, and up to and including now, it's a great time to start a YouTube channel. Online content in general is only growing, and who knows where things go. YouTube is really branching out too. Obviously shorts, so they're getting into the short form content, you know. It's an obvious attempt to compete with TikTok, but stuff like that's popular. And I've been making some shorts on the Clips channel, released one today of attacking bison with a UTV, that was fun. Had the chicken thing, the reference to Chicken Alaska, over on Way the Hunter, that short was on here, but something they just rolled out is like a podcast format. So you have regular videos, you have live streams, you have shorts, and then they have a specific category for podcasts. So it's really cool to see that they're trying to like make a platform for as many types of content and creators as possible. I would, if that's something you're into and want to do it, I'd say go for it. Zach, thank you for the super chat. Love the viz. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Holy, we killed something. Has the next weapon been revealed by EW? No, we just have the 308, I think. I came back from school, my day got better when I found out you were streaming. Well, that is very kind of you. Hopefully we can keep things going now that we finally killed something. It took like 10 minutes to kill a thing, which maybe are like personal worst, if that's a term on Revontuli Coast. Or normally we just kill a lot of stuff. You getting into doing a podcast? Man, I've thought about it. I don't know. I would need like a co-host. I couldn't do a Bill Burr style podcast where he just talks for an hour. I don't have that in me. But, you know, maybe. We'll see. A gold. Nice. Change that 243 camo, it hurts my eyes. I like it. I like the orange camo, it looks cool. Not something I've ever had on a gun, but you know what I kind of think it is? It's almost a nostalgia thing. When I was younger, I felt like everybody was wearing that like tree bark camo fluorescent orange, whether it was the hats or the orange vests and stuff. I don't see anybody do that anymore. But it reminds me of, 20 years ago. I'm sure Joe Rogan can co-host. Yeah, I'm sure he thinks I'm interesting enough to not do an episode, but co-host an entire podcast with me. Your first 22 has orange camo. There you go. Somebody's done it. Should ask Logan Paul to fight me or to do a podcast with me. Where did this thing go? Sir 12, help. I need your assistance. When will you return to the whitetail grind? I honestly don't know. What I basically had said was for this year, if we got a great one moose and we got a great one bear before, honestly, like now, then I would maybe consider jumping back into a whitetail grind until something else came out. We have neither of those things, so I don't foresee myself doing another grind. It's just not my preferred way to play the game anymore. For a time, it kind of was, but I think it's partially Way of the Hunter, partially getting back into the Hunter Classic. Definitely a factor too is like filming my own real hunts and stuff. I just appreciate the more realistic sides of the games, and while Call of the Wild is a slightly more arcadey style hunting game, it has its realistic moments and you can play it in realistic ways, and I kind of prefer to do that. Not all the time, it's fun to do grinds and stuff too, that switches things up, keeps content fresh, but I don't know that I want to commit to another grind, because if I do, like if I do start a whitetail grind, I'm going to be compelled to keep doing it. I'm not going to do it twice and then just give up. So I think I would rather just not do it. That doesn't mean I'll never go back to one. It doesn't mean we won't, stumble into 2 great ones in 3 days and have that all done and then be able to do a whitetail grind. But as of now, with great ones still on the board that we have yet to get, I don't see that happening soon. Flinter Podcast is just Flinter making the classic dough call. Hello everyone, welcome to the Flintcast. Wow. See you next week. Do you have a whitetail great one? Yes. I was actually fortunate enough to be, I think I was the second technically 3rd person ever to get one. Lucretius got one in the Trailblazer beta, which Call of the Wild like doesn't do Trailblazer betas anymore. I don't know if that's because they could only do it on Steam, so console felt left out. I really don't know why they've stopped doing that, but it was something, basically, it was like an early access, but it was public to everybody on PC. The reason that they didn't do it on console is it's really difficult to like set up console early access things, especially just for 3 days. But someone got one there in the early access thing. I can't remember the name of the guy. Someone did shoot one with a bow, and then I think I got the 3rd one. Tester day, I saw level 5 Big Hornet was a guaranteed troll. Tester day. Yesterday. Because I said the Trailblazer beta, I was like, what were you testing? I don't remember. Guaranteed troll anythings are annoying, but especially, like, ones that don't make diamond as much, just take the wind out of your sails. I can't believe I read that as tester day. Do you play on Xbox? I probably have, I don't know, between 150 and 300 hours. I know that's a huge range, but I just don't know what it might be. But it was mostly just playing with Kyla in multiplayer. When we were in a long-distance relationship and just, like, had nothing better to do, we would fairly often jump on there in the evening, run around, try to find cool stuff. I don't know that we ever killed much. Maybe you did. I just kind of, like, I was just there for the interaction, to be honest. But, I got my old PC out in October of 21 when I was prepping videos to go to West Virginia because I felt bad that she was just kind of stuck there while I had to record and edit all day for like 3 days straight. And, well, basically, even still, she had moved out here, so I didn't have a reason to get back on the Xbox from then. Ooh, nice JW. I do have a 4-star mature Rosie. He's looking pretty gray. I'm kind of concerned. I've got a 3-star mature Bison, and honestly, I don't think I have a single other animal that is, like, near future promising. There's a 3-star mature Kodiak that, you know, maybe, but, man, my starting out genetics do not seem solid. Actually, there are 2 3-star Stitkas. Maybe that'll give me some hope. Anything good yet? We're just kind of getting going here. What's up, mistress? You Call the Wild, I know. Had to be done. I'm kind of glad to be back. Like, it's a different pacing, and I have basically done nothing but play Way the Hunter for a week, so it's kind of nice to not be like, okay, should I shoot that? God, please don't be 99%. I love it. I love that aspect, but it's a good change of pace. Anyway, what was I saying? Anything good yet? A gold raccoon dog's about the best thing we've shot, but we're just getting going. Just starting to find some. Hopefully that continues. You've explored maybe 15% of the map? I feel like I've been just about everywhere. I don't know. It gives me flashbacks to Nez Perce in Transylvania, because like Mel's getting 5 stars. She just released that video today. Kyla has just 1 5-star. That looks weird. Why does that one look funny? Michael, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate the support, far too kind, man. Thank you, thank you. Anyone's getting blanks on Call of the Wild? When I shoot frontal shots at moose, I find that it sometimes seems to happen. I can't tell why you look... Oh, what a shot. It looks like a weird color. I don't think it's an orange like the rare, but... I don't know. It might have just been the shadow, because that one kind of looked like it too. A little bit of tracking, but we'll get him. What is this Nightbot thing? It's just a bot that helps to moderate the chat, so it'll remove, you know, spam links, all caps messages, stuff like that. I do think that's what I love about Call of the Wild. I like to shoot every single thing I see, usually. If I see wolves, I want to kill them all, and it be acceptable. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. And it gets me in trouble more often than not in Way the Hunter. And again, like, that game is one of the best hunting games ever made already. But there's definitely that aspect where I'm like, I want to shoot that. I'm going to shoot that. And then I do, and it's something that would have been a future 5-star, and I'm just like, saddened. What did I miss? A bunch of whiffing on some shots at the beginning, and we're just kind of getting into a bit of a rhythm here. We're finding a lot of raccoon dogs, which is good. Good job, Danny. Do you know how to distinguish bronze, silver, and diamond from each other? I mean, it's basically down to the animal's level. It's really about their score, but the animal's difficulty level will tell you pretty much anything you need to know. So, this is a little bit difficult to explain. There's spreadsheets in the Discords if you want to check those out. They have literally all this information, and then you won't have to try to remember everything I say. But, basically, predators and bison/buffalo, they all max at level 9, and red deer. I don't know why they're in that category too. Deer species generally max at level 5, and then birds and small game max at level 3. The thing is, geese are level 5s, whitetail are level 3. There's some exceptions in there, but that's kind of the rule of thumb you can go with. Those max levels have a pretty good shot at being a diamond. There's these things that we call trolls that you've probably heard of. That is when an animal is max level, but its score is still too low to make diamond. There's a bunch that goes into it. It's a learning process, but the spreadsheets in the Discord definitely could help you out. Truncated 22 ammo is only good to brain shot animals. I don't know where I got this information, but I swear I heard they changed it, and I don't even have any on me to look. But I was thinking maybe something happened to where it was a little bit better, because I remember they came out with it, and I was like, this stuff's useless. I don't get the point. Did I miss anything? Nothing to speak of just yet. Sup, Space Cowboy? Things have been good. Had a fun weekend. Did a lot of Way the Huntering. Yesterday, I went up to Mom and Dad's. I'm trying to figure out where the Bladed 9 lives. If he's still alive, he's going to be 8.5 this year. Like, deer don't live that long in the wild. They do, but, like, almost never. So I really, if he's still alive, I think this is our last chance. So I was up there trying to figure out where he's bedding. I have an idea that might work. So I was moving a trail cam, doing some shed hunting, all that good stuff. It's always fun to get out, especially when, you know, for about a week straight, I did nothing but sit here and play Way the Hunter and make content, so that was nice. Nice break. Bison don't max at 9. Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know why I said bison. Just buffalo. Again, more reason to look at the spreadsheets, because there's things that you would think fit well into a category but don't. Why do they make it to where you have to kill so many animals to get a great one? I understand it's rare, and not everyone will get one. Well, the thing is, you don't need to kill so many animals to get a great one. It's random spawn. It's entirely luck. So, they want it to be insanely rare. But, for people who really want one, the best way to do it is just to basically do that dice roll over and over and over again. And the only way to do that is to shoot stuff, and shoot a bunch of them. That's where grinding ultimately comes from. And I wish it worked differently, but that's the way it works. And if they want it to be rare, it kind of has to be that way. There must be another method. We talked about it, was it on Friday's stream maybe? Or Sunday maybe? I don't know when we just recently talked about it though. And we were discussing how maybe it would be better if it was like a random chance to spawn. That would invite spawn mashing. But if they put a detector in there to know if you're spawn mashing, because it's not hard to figure out, they could probably make it random spawn and remove the grinding entirely from the game, which I don't think that'd be a bad thing. If you got the Bladed 9, would you make it and your big one fight? No, I wish I had the picture in this. I don't. It's gonna be too big of a pain to put it on screen. So, I'm getting like, do you know what a shoulder pedestal mount is? It's kind of like, it's almost like a regular wall shoulder mount, but instead of the backs of both shoulders being against the wall, it's kind of one shoulder and the other shoulder is out away from the wall. And the reason I wanted to do that is I can put it on the wall, but then I can also display it on like a pedestal mount. So if I get the Bladed 9 or any future buck in the area of 140 or better, then I can do like a dual corner pedestal, which is what I really want to do. I think those with 2 big bucks look incredible. Is 10 kilo the max for raccoon dogs? You can tell how long it's been since I've done this. I think it is. You know what? I think this is that level 7. Because there was one, and it was if I'm not mistaken, it was the YouTube stream where we killed that Diamond Lynx, Orange Raccoon Dog, and Diamond Teal. We hit a level 7 and didn't kill it. So, it's probably that. think we're going the wrong way. How do I say your name, man? Is it Nelvox? I know I talked to you in Discord today, and I was looking at it like, I don't know if that's the way to pronounce it. It might be. Maybe he did go this way. They look awesome on whiskey barrels? Yeah, something like that is something I've considered doing as well. Again, I'm looking so far down the road because I have to then actually get a big enough mail to have a second one. Is level 9? It could be. If it's not, that's 7. I frankly don't have a clue where we ran into that 7 that I'm talking about, so could be a completely different one. These, say these tracks are in a perfect straight line. That is indicating that probably when I reset the time before the stream to, you know, hunt at 10 a.m., it warped it into its where whatever zone it was supposed to be for that time, and that's where you get these straight line tracks. They're older than the others. Let's keep going for now, but there's a chance we're actually just going backwards. Do you have Euro hangers on your skull mounts? Euro hangers. I don't know if I know what you mean. All the skull mounts that I have are on, like, custom-made plaques. So my brother has, like, a European mount business. He has, like, the flesh-eating beetles and all that stuff. And he also makes handcrafted plaques. So, like, the 9-point I killed in 2019 is on a bullet-shaped plaque. The 8-point, that video is coming out in, like, a week, by the way. Or 2 weeks. The one that I shot in West Virginia with a bow, that one's on, like, an arrowhead-shaped plaque. It's a really cool thing. Will he still be the bladed 9 if he's an 8-point? If you get him, do we need to be pushing double-edge TM? You know, I decided to change his name to Double Edge in 2021 because he became a clean 8. And I like the name, but there's just something about bladed 9 just fits so well. So I just hope he stays a 9-point because now he once again has the potential to regress or, you know, gain times, whatever it ends up being. What means occasion for hunting? The game doesn't explain it all. I don't know if I know what you mean. Favorite species on Call of the Wild? As far as models and stuff go, I think mountain goats and pronghorns are my favorite. The favorite to hunt question, though, I really like gray wolves. It's one of my favorite things. Like, you get a huge pack charge, and we did it in a recent Medved moose grind. It was 10 total wolves. And, like, when you fend all those off, it's just such a cool feeling. You get all them down, they don't turn and flee. You feel like you accomplished something, I guess, which I think that's harder and harder to come by in the game when, especially when you've played for, what am I at, 5,975 hours? There's certain things that only come around so often, and it's situations like that that I really enjoy. I have not, JJ. I've been seeing some content on it. I've been seeing in my Discord and the other games text channel, some people have posted pictures of it. It looks interesting. I might pick it up just to, you know, screw around, but I don't think I'll do any videos on it if that was going to be the next question. I was asked that recently, so. Don't get the curse, or that deer will have a dirty shed from pet. What? What you talk about? Good soup. Great money with the wolves, that too. Is tomorrow the day where the second gun is announced? Probably. Did Beard say for sure he was going to announce the others? I think he did. I'd assume so then. Basically the green mark with the green who... Oh! All that is like the location of a track. If you have... I think it's tutorials? Tutorials / hints. If you have that on, every now and then it'll just show you a nearby track. That's all it is. What's up, Trickster? How's it going, man? Particle damage from a dirty shed is majority cause of half-racks? Wait, explain dirty shed. I don't know what you're talking about. I get the particle damage and all that. I do know what that means, but I've never heard of... I don't know what you mean by dirty shed at all.
I'm jamming, don't mind me.
Oh, okay. What's up, Tristan? Just got a 5-star albino whitetail. Nice. I'll just DM you. Sounds good. My predictions on the new guns are 375 H&H and 22-250. What did I say? I said something very similar recently. I think we're on the same page here. Knocked off as opposing to falling off? That's the only thing I can think of. I just hate the name of it if that's what that means. Do you think the next Call of the Wild update will finally be Africa 2.0? Where was I talking about that? I was talking to Soup about that today. I hope so. It feels like it's long overdue. Oh no, where are my tracks gone? Not again. If this is that level 7, this is what happened last time I couldn't find his tracks. Anyway. When I look through, like, multiplayer servers, which I don't play Call of the Wild in multiplayer as much anymore because it's just rampant with hacks and modders, unfortunately. But if you can find a legitimate server, you know, it's still really fun. But you look through the servers, Virunga Savannah is always near the top of the list as far as, like, open servers at that moment. And yet, we've never had a second Africa map. You would think that points to potential success of doing another Africa map. Maybe they're afraid of not being able to live up to expectations, but I think you throw hyenas on there, greater kudu, like a couple of these things people have asked for, it's bound to succeed. Donald, thank you for the 1 month, by the way. Welcome. Good to have you here. If you are not in the Discord, be sure to join that, link up YouTube, get the member role, all that good stuff, and enjoy the emojis and green name here in chat. What's up, Rodney? You haven't missed too much. We're attempting to find, and kind of failing to find, a max word estimate raccoon dog. What appeared to happen was, and I think we do have its zone. Might mark that. It kind of like warped. When you reset the time, you'll get tracks in like a perfectly straight line, and what that is indicating is that you reset the time, the animal warped to where it's supposed to be in its zone, and it left tracks. So I think we tracked it backwards. Its tracks are now gone. Worst case, we'll reset and try to look for it later. Hey, thank you, Gunner. I appreciate that. How about hunting extinct animals like big elk, bears, or deer? That's something, and even going further with like potentially a dinosaur hunting game. Expansive Worlds did the Hunter Primal, 2014 or 15. It was a really cool dinosaur hunting game, and they just didn't go too far with it. On this engine with these graphics, it could be incredible, and it seems like such a almost untapped potential type of thing. I'm amazed they haven't done at least some experimentation with it. Has anyone actually posted one, Reinhardt? Because I know somebody posted like a picture of a live one and said it was a 5-star, but there hasn't been a harvest screen that I've seen posted that has like actual evidence that like yes indeed this is a 5-star. Thoughts on a Medved 2.0? I guess I'd need more of a description on what you mean, because I'm assuming this is kind of, you know, basing on the idea of Africa 2.0, and the thing about that is there's such a wide array of huntable species there that you could probably do 3 or 4 more maps with 10 species each and never repeat any of the species. I don't know what there would be like in Siberia that could do an entire new map with new species. XQC uploaded a video for it? Okay, gotcha. I'll have to check that out. Favorite gun in Call of the Wild? Honestly, there's a lot of guns I like. The M1's really cool. I mean, it's hard to compete with the ping of the, you know, fired your 5th round. When I compare that to the 308, that's the one place where I think the M1 kind of surpasses it. Because not only is it a really cool sound and realistic, it also is like a, hey, reload reminder. Because when you're grinding, sometimes you just don't notice it. Sometimes you need that. But I really like the 7mm. We are carrying that today. It's a cool gun. It's one of the most, if not the most versatile weapons in the entire game. And it's a base game weapon, which means literally everybody who has the game has access to it. You don't need to buy a DLC, none of that. There's one. That female was heading down to the right. Donald, thank you for the super chat as well. I appreciate that. Been grinding hard on Medved for Great One Moose. Am I hurting my chances by having 15 to 18 spots I hunt, including the river? Should I be narrowing down my spots 2,000 kills into it? 15 to 18 I think is a good kind of number to shoot for. I don't even know how many I have, but I would imagine it's in that vicinity. I personally, like with the red deer and the whitetail, I like to cover as much of the map as I can. I feel like I'm being... What's the word? I feel like I'm being more like... This is bothering me. I can't think of... Like, I'm making sure I cover all my bases, whatever the heck the word for that is. I prefer to hunt that way over, like... You know, just repetitively checking the same spots over and over. There's a sweet spot in there somewhere, though, and I think it's around that 15 to 20 locations kind of area. Diligent, that's probably it. I think that's what I mean. It's bad when I don't even know for sure if the correct word is it or not. So that's the zone. Let's dip down through here and come up around. Maybe that'll help us find that one. I really don't want to... Hang on. Screenshot that, because my luck will try to go back later and I won't be able to find it. Just got a new hunting game called American Marksman. The one thing I'm curious about with that game, does it feel like at least kind of intuitive as far as the controls? I've never played a mobile game or a mobile hunting game that feels very intuitive. It's always kind of like clunky to, you know, control and stuff. Do you think they'll add more lever actions, Whale Hunter? Do we have any? The 30-30. I hope so. Because I'm just thinking, like, my favorite reload animation in the game, by far, is that 30-30. I hope they do. We were talking about that, too, in Call of the Wild. We have the 30-30, we have the 45-70, the 10 gauge, and I think that's it. They're cool weapons. They're maybe not the, you know, the 308 ARs or the M1s of the game, like the meta-defining weapons, but they're really fun to hunt with. They're unique, and they kind of just give you that extra bit of variety. One thing that I'd love to do, because I really like crafting sort of unique loadouts that most people don't use and trying to find success with them, I'd love to do a all-lever action loadout, and I think maybe I've done it with the 10 gauge, but get like a Henry 22 type of thing. I'd love if they'd add something like that. It sucks, but good for mobile. Sense make. Pretty cool to play as a mobile game. So here's my real question. If I, like, say October 1st, I'm sitting in my tree stand, and I go out 3 hours early, because I want to make sure I'm there before the deer. Am I going to be tempted to play that? That's basically what I want to know. Has trail making ever been a thing thought about in this game? Trail making. As in... like some form of us, whether through manipulation of like the vegetation or other such things, trying to like direct animals a certain way, or do you mean animals taking a certain path and leaving a trail? The first thing. I don't think so. Manipulation of the map itself would be tough, because then every time you load the map, it would also have to load extra unique data unique to what you've done for the trail making. But if there was almost a placeable of some kind that would allow you to do that, that could potentially work. Could be kind of neat, because animals do more or less walk the same kind of paths, and I don't even think it's like way the hunter animals have like their trails that they walk. I don't think it's that. I think it's they have the same zones, and they more or less move the same ideal path between those zones. Jake, thanks for becoming a Tuesday. I certainly appreciate that. If you're not in the Discord, be sure to join that. Link up your YouTube, get the member role, take advantage of all that good stuff, and enjoy the emojis here. Hacking a path. Like branches. I don't think you mean like hacking the game. I think I know what you're saying. I wouldn't mind a class 8 to 9 weapon maximus, because then you're looking at elk, moose, gensbuck, obviously your class 9 animals. What else is class 8? Is that actually it? You'd have elk on 2 maps, 2 different species of elk. Moose on whatever it is, 4 maps. Even still, it's something different. Shotguns or rifle was better for bison? I'd go 300. So are you hunting raccoon dogs? Meaning it would be a lot of you running around looking for small boys. As long as you're not taking that out of context, yes. Lion, they're class 9, I think. In fact, I know. Small ducks. I think Call of the Wild needs deer feeder cameras, lower prices, and a Midwest map. Lower prices? Lower DLC prices or lower like in-game prices? Because personally, I feel like maybe 200 hours into the game, which I know can sound like a lot, but it really isn't in the grand scheme of things. You no longer even need money, basically. They should at least let you put a scope on the 470. Considering it's not so overpowered that, for balancing reasons, you know, it would be one thing, basically, if the gun was just insane and drops everything in its tracks. I don't even know that it's notably better than the 300, especially at range. And like you said, you can't put a scope on it. You are a cool hunter. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. I saw your DM and I forgot about Hunter, man. Okay, so it is kind of what Bottom Boy was saying. Gotcha. Yeah, it's just the terminology that kind of confused me. I thought of that as an option, Soup. I mean, we don't kill a lot of moose out here on Revontuli, but had we not whiffed on that one earlier, I at least tried to get one first thing, and we've done that on a number of occasions. Do you think they should add realistic hunting brands to Call of the Wild? I think it would probably, you know, kind of help some people, you know, feel like they're getting to hunt with the things they actually hunt with, or even things they'd like to hunt with. You know, like, this is maybe not the best example, but one thing I immediately think of is, like, I don't have, you know, like, Sitka or Kuyu hunting camouflage. I have Walmart Realtree stuff, because that works fine for me. Would I wear a Sitka if I had it? Yeah. Am I going to spend $2,000 to have every, you know, lightweight Sitka camo and heavyweight Sitka camo? Definitely not. So, if they had it in game, yeah, I'd probably wear it. That could be kind of cool. But I think that can go to a lot more than just camo. You could have it for, you know, different rifles, different, even calls, like all kinds of stuff. I think it would be good. Any new DLC for Call of the Wild? There's a weapon pack in the makes, it sounds like. When you play with mods on Farming Sim, do you get mods online like Facebook or LS Mods? What was the name? Mod Hub or something was where I used to get them? I don't even know if that still exists. There was a male. His name was Fred. And old Fred got the dead. That was a bad. I couldn't think of something better than old Fred. Is 2 rares and a diamond good for one day? I would certainly say so. Are dark gray raccoon dogs rare? The rares for raccoon dogs are albino, piebald, melanistic, and orange. A car has eggs, milk, and flour. The car suddenly stops. What fell first? Is this a trick question? Car has eggs, milks, and flour. Suddenly stops. The heaviest thing. Flour, probably. Well, maybe eggs. Flour might have some friction going on. I don't know. I'm taking this question too seriously, I think. Mod Club is Kyla's modding agency? Was that lag stream? Or no, it was Joe. He was saying Kyla should have a mod training business. What's your rarest raccoon you've ever shot? I don't think I had. Oh no, I do. I shot an albino. It was the same night that I killed the piebald diamond gray fox. Different server, but same day. The speedometer needle? Oh, smart. There isn't a melanistic raccoon dog? Oh, I think you're right. I don't know where I got the idea there was. How fast is the car going? 12 miles an hour. Always. Have you ever heard of the hunting public? Or have you ever heard of the public hunting ground? God, jeez, I see what you're saying now. Public hunting ground along Susquehanna the island? No. I was sure that was something about the hunting public, and that really threw me off. Is the car stops first? The question wasn't what stops first, it was what fell first. I got this game a week ago and I'm loving it. That's awesome, man. That will probably continue for quite some time. There is a lot of content when you're getting started. Dark brown is a rare for raccoon dog as well? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Are you the one? Nope. At least we're finding a lot of males in the process. Can I spot it again? Guess we're going up there. I wish it could be more in lighter gray wolf fur types. Yeah, I feel like they did a little bit better with the Iberian wolves. But even with them, like, I just think, what the heck is this? There's a whole pack of them. But with them, I think more common fur should be a thing. Because now it's literally common, and then nothing but rares. Red-brown is a rare. Egg-white is a rare. Albino melanistic are rares. Like, you should have just different variations of gray. Because I think dark gray is a rare now too. I'm not saying like they need to redo them, but it would be nice if there was more. I thought I saw one of those little fluffy buggers going through here. I guess not. Made dark gray rare for some reason too. Yeah, it was with Revontuli, I think, when they standardized all the fur types. I'm just not entirely sure why they felt the need to do it. Where do you find willow ptarmigan? They're all through the south down here. All over like this entire, like just basically take this road right here, all the way across, anything south of it, they're all over the place. Is a cinnamon brown bear rare? Nah, it's just one of the common or uncommon fur types. Killed my first piebald whitetail yesterday on Mississippi Acres. Nice. Saw you were streaming Call the Wild on Crow's Discord? How so?
Unless it's from like a little, like, seed.
Oh, like my, I see. Like my profile thing? I was very confused because I was like, I don't think I posted. Did I post somewhere by accident? Wish the gators were easier to spot with binoculars. Yeah, they should redo that. Like, they're challenging enough just to make the shot on and stuff. It really doesn't need to be that tough to spot them in the grass. They are low to the ground, like, I don't hate the idea, but also, there's not true size or anything in this game. So, the game kind of has to tell you what level it is. You have to rely on the game. Whereas in something like the Hunter Classic, they don't have gators, but say raccoon dogs. Not raccoon dogs. What just happened to my brain? Say coyotes. I guess I just saw that on screen. You can look at two coyotes standing side by side, and you'll know which one's bigger, which one weighs more. It's gonna have a physically larger model. Other than, like, male gators are bigger than female gators, but every male gator is the exact same size. So what I'm getting at is, it's important to be able to spot them. They shouldn't make it so difficult to do that. I really made that far more difficult than I had to. They should put a 50 cal in Call of the Wild. They should make it class 1 as well. It's the first stream I've seen of yours, and I love you. Well, that was awfully kind of you. I'm glad you managed to stop in. You're not the one either. Where is that big male? The biggest, smartest male I've ever seen. What shotgun do you use the most? I probably use the 16 gauge the most. I've got the 12 gauge today. Mostly because 12, to be honest. Like, I didn't really have a reason for grabbing it other than 12 is 12. But I like... What on earth? Are you kidding me? Wow. That might be a 300 moose. Not a great one, but, you know, I can pretty well promise you that wasn't there the last time we were here. Up to 309. And don't forget the new spook range. Hello there. We couldn't have been, I don't know, 50 yards, 50 meters from spooking that thing if we were a little bit closer. Big bail. Now use the 4570. Well, alright, if you want to be my Uber driver, not my Uber driver, Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever. If you want to deliver it directly to me, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going with the 7mm. Thought he was the one that turned. So we're going to have to... Where is that thing? We're going to have to scoot up there somehow to be able to get it. What's the best trophy? As in, like, the most sought-after thing? Probably a great one, Black Bear. Be my Uber eater. Yes. That is quite a plump male. Are you talking about me or the moose? 12 to 24 business days. I don't know if your business model is going to succeed, man. I subscribe? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Monster Moose, holy. Ooh, favorite Legacy rack. Okay, I loved the Legacy Big Rack Whitetail, but I'm going to say Legacy Big Rack Blacktail only because I miss when they were that big. I know it's not realistic, but they looked incredible. Smoked. So, you know, remember that shot earlier where we took a frontal shot on a moose and it, like, went through it? That's something to consider right about now. He's alert. So we'll have the level 5 alert momentarily. I think if we aim higher in the hearts, we'll be okay. We've done it with the inline and stuff. And of course, I don't have the inline today. That could be our diving with the inline. Nah, too far of a run. We'll figure it out. We'll do it with something else. Next shot him? Oh, that would be... I am not brave enough to do that. I guess if he was drinking, it would be. But he's not. Let me see if I'll go back to drink. I was thinking of, like, trying to broadside neck shot him, which would be nuts. The rarest trophy in Call of the Wild? I kind of think it's a great one, Black Bear. See, now they're gonna go over there. We don't need to overcomplicate this. We'll just alert him and smoke him with a heart shot, hopefully. Or by the 300, that's not a difficult shot. What are you doing glitching all around there? Moose face going down? Wait. Maybe they'll just go back to where they were? I kind of want to neck shot him now. There we go. Okay, he's going to drink. We'll make it happen. Fires blank? He doesn't work for me. What do you mean? What's up? Sorry I'm late. Oh, not much. How am I going to neck shot him when he's facing that way? Looks like the troll I got. This rack quite literally cannot troll. It is guaranteed to be above 290. There's maybe a world in which it's in the 280s with a really funky rack, but I've never seen that. Quote by Flinter, if you spot an animal, you shout it. Big male! Like that. Oh, he's nervous because he's shaking. I got you. Excuse me, sir. What if I just make him attentive? How am I going to do that, you ask? I don't really know. If he's attentive and not alert, which we went too far already. This is really spending too much time trying to set up goofiness. If he doesn't cooperate this time, we'll just shoot him in the heart. Nervous because the water's cold? He doesn't want to have wrinkly toes. Giving you a hard time, he just, you know, wants to make it interesting. Keep the suspense going a little bit longer. No, don't you go back to drinking facing that way. I feel like he's defying me. Prune toes? Alright. We're not here for meats anyway. Would you like to present a heart shot, good sir? I promise this time I'll actually go for it. Now just stop. Don't do any kind of weird glitching. That'll work. Now he's going to be really cold in that water. 'Tis a nice bull indeed. Hopefully over 300. The last one we shot with this rack was it 298 or something? It was kind of low. This one is 298. Max weight again. Same as the one on Medved. I feel like I jinxed that. 298.69. It's really here to troll me, isn't it? Big male. 291, 299.8. You were close. 305 would have been wild. I was hoping it'd be like 301.6. I think 301. Or no. 300.6 is my biggest. 0.69, heh. He just wanted him to think that he was 300 plus. But then troll me with the 0.69. Nice. Well, Revontuli was doing... What? What was that? Revontuli doing what Revontuli does. Just supplying big males after we've taken a month or more break from it. We'll take those. Have you done a face reveal? Check out any of my real life hunting videos. Except the ones in 2019. I was fat then. Don't watch those. What map should I go do my hunt? I got all of them? You should hunt European bison and wild boar in southwest Hirschfelden. You do be right though, Soup. Just got in quick enough to see it? Nice. Go to Rancho. I feel like Rancho, I was really excited for pheasants to be added to multiple maps, but I kind of feel like it's lost a little bit of its luster since there are pheasants on Hirsch and on Quattro and what was the other one? New England. But they still act the most like pheasants on Rancho, so that kind of saves it. Your arrow hunting content is better than most shows on outdoor TV. Well, I appreciate that. I definitely try to, I try to go down my own path with it. I don't want to try to copy any shows that are out there or anything. But it's been really cool. I'm just as happy sitting there filming a 2-year-old buck that I have no desire to shoot as I am actually, pulling the trigger on a 3.5 or 4.5-year-old. It's really cool to just watch them do their thing and be able to document it. I guess getting good footage for me is as good as making a good shot. When is the Meat Hunter Meat Eater collab? 12. Would be nice. I think it would have to be a flatland animal. If I tried to hunt as hard as Steve hunts for things like elk or mountain goat or anything up in the mountains, he'd probably kill me. I would just, I'd be lagging behind and just die. What if there was a France map with pigeons or dove? So in the Hunter Classic, Vaudeville, I believe, is a map based in France. It's the French Alpine something? I'm pretty sure. I like it a lot. The Alpine Ibex on that map are among my favorite animals in any game ever. I'd like if Call the Wild went that way. You know, it'd be cool, a Schuster Army podcast. If you can find me a co-host, make it happen. I need what's the one? Who's the guy that co-hosts for Tom Brady? Is it Jim Gray? You have watched Meat Eater, of course. French Alps? Okay, so I was going to say French Alps, but I was like, wait. Am I thinking of the Swiss Alps? Am I dumb? So I hedged my bets and didn't quite say French Alps. Have you ever hunted in Europe in real life? I have never even been to Europe in real life. Kyla's the co-host. Kyla was dreaming about making a podcast the other day. It's true. They need to do a Himalayas map for Call of the Wild. This is going to show my lack of geography. Could there be Marco Polo sheep in the Himalayas? Do you hunt in real life? Yes. The KaiCast? There you go. Welcome to the KaiCast.
Beautiful.
What is your main animal hunt in real life? Whitetail. I knew that was going to happen eventually. Across the street, not even a street, across like our dirt road, the neighbors are getting some kind of work done, and Shadow heard a particularly loud, some sort of machinery sound. I can't see what they're doing, so. Ready for turkey season opens April 15th in Tennessee. I think it's around the 15th. We're planning on going to Ohio for their opener. Ours doesn't open till like, it's either the last Saturday of April or first Saturday of May, depending on, I can figure it out.
I'll say, so when are you going to Ohio then?
I don't know. Probably April 29th is the season opener here. I think Ohio's the 22nd. When are you leaving?
I don't know. Mom's debating on doing the week before my birthday or the weekend after. And that's gonna be.
Well, the weekend after is no big deal. I'm saying 29th I'd be hunting here.
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah. She wants you there.
In April? Oh, I'm thinking of the one in March. Okay, never mind.
I was gonna say, wow. My birthday, come on.
Usually you just leave me and
Oh, yeah,
say bye.
You gotta deal with it all.
do I not still have to deal with the dog? I have a 4-year-old lab that barks at his own Shadow. I think Shadow would do that if she had the opportunity. Come to Canada for fly fishing and a moose hunt? Are you taking me? Have you heard any EPA yet? Thought maybe with the warm weather they'd start? No, I can't say I have. Usually, like, I don't think there's a ton of turkeys at this property. There definitely seem to be more at Mom and Dad's. And the ones that are here don't roost down here. They typically seem to roost up on top, and then sometimes they'll work their way down into this creek bottom just like seemingly at random. So it's tough to hunt them here, but I definitely haven't heard any. With all my knowledge of moose and hunting them, bring waders. I do need to get a decent pair of waders, so that would be an excuse to do it. Was on the phone with a friend, but I saw the moose. Very nice. Well, thank you. If only I could have neck shot him, but he didn't want to cooperate. Where is that thick lad? Where are we? We're over an hour into the stream. This is like farming sim all over again. Feels like it's been 10 minutes and we're an hour in. We'll probably kill this one and try to... We'll change the time and even switch maps to make sure if he's in some kind of glitched warpy spawn, he should come back. Because I want to go and get that one. Season starts April 25th here in Ontario. We had a warm spell and almost no snow left a couple weeks ago, then we got dumped on. That seems like the way it tends to go. You think maybe you're getting a spring in February and it's like, actually, watch this. That was my problem, Soup. I needed them last year, but I didn't feel like paying for them, so I instead got, I don't know if there's a name for them. It was like, I think they were chest waders, but the ones without the boots, so you need to, like, either wear water shoes or something else. And those ripped day one. Like, trip one. Within an hour and a half. So, I'm not going to be using those again. I have a level 9 gator on my map, but I can't find them. They're tough. They just have a tendency to either be underwater or a spook when you don't even know they're there. It's a challenge to locate ones that you've previously seen. I'm not convinced a true wild turkey will attack the decoys like they do on TV. I think if you get the right turkey in the right situation, it would definitely happen. That's kind of how, like, turkey hunting in general is. If you set up in the right spot, and you bring, like, a squeaky door, and use that to call, you'll bring one right in right off the roost. Like, if you're the right spot with the right bird, they're coming in. If you're the wrong spot with the wrong bird, or right bird, however you look at that, they won't come in if you have a live hen next to you. Jakes are usually aggressive little psychopaths. That's probably why I have some success calling in Jakes. I rarely use my waders, but they sure are handy to have. Wore them hunting one day, it was real wet last fall. That's the other thing too. I have a stand location down in what I call my 180's bedding area. Basically his bedroom. There were rubs all through there. I went in there after I ended up killing him. I have no doubt that's where he was living. And I also know other bucks spend time down in there. I can't access that spot without crossing the creek. So either the water has to be low enough that my muck boots can allow me to cross, or I need to get like some heavy waders or something. I want to get waders because, you know, my luck, we'll get a heavy rain, and then we'll get a perfect wind to hunt that stand on like a cold front or something, and it'll be like the water's a foot too high to cross. Small mail. Just swim? Good idea. I don't think my camera would mind that. Speaking of my camera, I gotta figure that out. The record button like sticks kind of when I hit it, or like doesn't press all the way, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna think I'm recording something in turkey season when I'm actually not. What's your favorite animal to hunt in Call of the Wild? Gray wolves, actually. If you're here, like the stream, because why not? That's good logic, I like it. Caught in a Jake one time and he got stuck at the cow fence. He's like, how do I cross this? Turkeys are funny like that. Like, trying to get them to cross like even a small stream, a fence. Sometimes they're just like, no. Sorry, don't want to come in that bad. See ya. Alright, so it was that zone. We're gonna go... the wind is gonna be... We'll probably want to approach from here, actually. And we're just going to switch maps and come back. Again, the reason I'm doing that is if there's something... Because he had the straight line track, so he had obviously warped to somewhere. If there's anything going on where he's like in the wrong location, I just want to make sure he respawns back where he should be. Turkeys can be really dumb sometimes. They're unbelievably smart most times. And other times you're like, what? If I was hunting today, I'd kill one. That thing's really dumb. I think I was a sophomore in high school. I was going to do cross country, and what actually happened was we went on a float trip down the Susquehanna, I think, and I brushed my teeth with river water and got giardia. That was cool. Wouldn't recommend. So I didn't end up running cross country ever, but I was training for it that summer, and these jakes were just, like, I was running at them because I was practicing running. And I'd get like 15 yards away, and they'd kind of move a little bit, kind of get out of my way. And I'd turn around and run back to the other end of the yard, like 150 yards or whatever. And I'd go back and I'm running at them again. They're like, okay, gonna back another 15 yards away and return right to where we were as soon as you turn around. They're goofy birds. Get wrecked. They should add mallards to Call of the Wild in Yukon. I wouldn't hate like an extra duck species, but I think harlequin ducks are pretty cool. There's a huge 10-pointer on my dad's farm. I don't know if you meant the double dads, but either way. Huge 10-pointers do be exciting. Did you miss anything? We killed a max weight 298 scoring moose. We're also attempting to find a max weight estimate raccoon dog. Got its track, couldn't find it. We do have its zone, or at least I believe we do. So we're heading back right now to take a look. Have you ever had an idea to stream on Twitch? I stream on Twitch 3 days a week. The best gun in the Hunter Call of the Wild. Best gun is always hard to answer because it's like best gun for what? I think the 300 is like the most powerful gun. It's the best gun for like big game, classes 7 and up. If you want the best gun for those big animals and also being able to take deer and stuff though, it's the 7mm. By the way, I said 3 days a week for Twitch. We're just starting up the Sunday streams again. So Sundays around 11 a.m. Eastern, we're doing farming sims. So that one's not listed on the schedule at the moment, but hopefully by the next stream I'll put it on there so it's shown. Just gonna blast that one with the 7mm, I think, because I don't feel like tracking it as we approach the zone that we're looking for. They should add canvas back ducks to Call of the Wild. There you go. Another waterfowl species. I don't know if you caught either of those two yet, Brent, but they're so much fun. I mean, we just sit there and whatever topic of discussion's happening. I mean, we're literally, like, we're harvesting a field for 45 minutes. What else are we going to do? So it's just chatting about all kinds of stuff. It's a blast. Pintails would be cool. I love the pintails in Classic. I 100% agree. Do you still host Classic multiplayer lobbies every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, except for this past week because I streamed Way the Hunter? Playing right now, and I just bought the Smoking Barrel weapon pack. I just used the flintlock, and now I'm using the M1. I don't think you'll put the M1 down for a while. It is pretty good. Banded ducks would be cool. Yeah, that's been something discussed as... I've even heard of it discussed as like a potential duck great one. I don't think that's... You know, I don't know that you could ever do a small game great one. Maybe like a small predator, but I just don't know that you could ever quite get the mystique that a great one's supposed to be with a rabbit or duck or anything. But as a potential rare, or imagine a rare banded duck. Like that would be almost a rare, you know? It could be neat. Stuff like that. The 22 AR I feel like shouldn't spook animals so easily for how quiet it is. That's always one of the funny things in this game. And it really only applies to 22 because every other rifle spooks things equally. But the actual sound that the thing makes doesn't always necessarily add up with how much it makes the animal spook or at what distance. How's the hunt? Not too bad. We got a max weight diamond moose earlier, scored 298. We are in the process of trying to locate a max weight estimate raccoon dog. I think it's a level 7. It was on the stream where we killed the diamond lynx and the orange raccoon dog and the diamond green-winged teal, Eurasian teal. They look too similar. I think we hit it or we shot at it and missed it, and I couldn't find the tracks again. So I can't remember the area, but there's only so many places raccoon dogs could be. I'm thinking it's going to be that one, but it might not be. You never know. My game keeps crashing since I got the weapon pack. Do you, by chance, have Hunt Club Beta on? Because I have found... I don't even know how you turn it off. Is it here? Yeah. I have found disabling the Hunt Club Beta sometimes helps with crashing. Now, they've recently kind of seemed to revamp the Hunt Club Beta, and I haven't had any issues with it since, so I can't say that's really what's causing your issues, but you could give it a try and see if that helps. This is that what I'm talking about. So the question is, can we figure out where he went? I'd say yes. I have a headache, stupid weather changes. You know why it actually is? It's because you haven't sent me any sourdough bread yet. Can I please spot you? Ah, you are the 7. What a disappointment you are. An expected disappointment, but still. Gotta go to the dentist appointment. Good luck. Hopefully you don't have like a fear of the dentist. I don't have a fear of the dentist, I just hate going. Any tips on finding higher ranked animals? If you're playing in single player, just like shoot whatever you see. If you've noticed, like throughout the stream, we're just basically killing raccoon dogs on sight. The hope is that one of them ends up respawning as level 9. If you're in multiplayer, it's more of a cover ground type of thing. Try to get to as many lakes, as many meadows, like, you know, basically try to get eyes on as many animals as possible. It's like a, kind of like I said earlier, sort of like just a dice roll over and over, and you're hoping you hit on whatever combination ends up equaling a diamond. I'm telling your fiance how to make it for you, and she said it's too much work to add flour to water. Hey, listen.
You gotta
it is.
To it for like 4 to 5 days, and then you finally get to put it in the oven. No, I'm not here to babysit some bread.
Maybe I'll be brave enough to... Not brave enough, even. I basically just need to, like, commit to it. I have a hard time with... Like, I'm pretty efficient with my time. But my problem is, when I try to incorporate anything outside of my normal day, in my head I'm just like, I can't do that. I don't have time for that. I can't do that. And then I just put it off for forever. It's not good, but I do it. Tracking an 18 to 21 mallard can not find it. Mallards can be annoying, obviously, with their ability to fly off, but they typically end up back in the same general vicinity. Have a good time, everyone. I'm gonna go have a good hunt. Sounds good. Appreciate you hanging out. We'll catch you next time. Once it's fermented, it lasts forever. Does it actually last forever? Making sourdough is basically like getting a pet. You gotta feed it and sing to it. I want to hear Soup sing to his sourdough. Tips on getting a blonde mallard. They can only be female, so I would probably say like the best thing to do is just shoot every female mallard you see and hope for the best. We, at some stage recently, were just like in the Hunter Call the Wild chat in Discord, trying to recall the last one anybody had seen someone post. And I don't know, I haven't killed one in at least a year. It's been a while. I definitely think they upped the rarity on those, and I think it was with Revontuli, much like we were talking about with the Dark Grey Wolves and a number of other things that didn't used to be rare that now are. Just some fur type / plumage type standardizations that have changed stuff like that, and now I think, you know, like any multi-mount, like the coyote one that involves ducks, you get a blonde female in there, that's probably the rarest mallard there is. Are blonde mallards rare? Indeed. They are now, anyway. My grandma has a sourdough starter that is at least 25 years old, so I don't understand. I guess you're then adding to it, right? Or how could it possibly... There's something I don't understand there. Clearly, I haven't done that. Did you hear about the predators being able to kill animals away the hunter in the new update? Sounds amazing if it's actually a thing. No. Was that, like, confirmed anywhere? Is that in the dev branch? Dishes are the worst part of homeowning. You know what's funny? In my apartment, I was there for 4 years? Or 3 years? However long. I would be like, you know, always trying to make sure I would save dishes, like, down to silverware, because I had to hand wash everything. There was no dishwasher. I was always conscious about, like, you know, when I'm cooking, don't use too many utensils, don't put the knife in the sink till I'm absolutely certain I've used it for everything I need to, all those things. And I still do that here, and Kyla's just like, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'm trying to save dishes, I don't want to use, just put it in the dishwasher. Okay. What a miss, a max weight 298 scoring moose has been the highlight kill hunt so far. We're a paper and plastic family in this house. I did actually do that for a significant amount of time in my apartment, but I felt like I was being a little contrarian to the whole conservationist hunter side of myself as well. Maybe it balances out, I don't know. I don't think we've killed a thing with the 12 gauge yet. Maybe that's going to continue. There we go. Any more Throwback Thursdays? I've got something planned for the relatively near future. Nice little gold. Hey, getting trolled the third time today. Dang. One of those days. They happen too. Like, out of nowhere, just everything wants to troll. You'll get one diamond and everything will just kind of go back to normal. Throwback Thursdays were awesome. One challenge with it now is, like, we have a 3-game like rotation, so it's Classic, Call of the Wild, and Way the Hunter. Putting a 4th game into that when there's only 5 total videos a week, it just kind of squeezes down on, like, you know, how many times we can see Call of the Wild per week, or how many times we can see Way the Hunter per week, or whatever. So maybe I'll find a different way to do it. And then obviously there's the streams too, which helps with Call of the Wild or Way the Hunter or Classic, depending on which thing you're wanting to see. Rip the Angler, If they reimagine the legendary system, honestly, I'd probably go back to it right away. Like, I like Norway. It's actually pretty cool. I thought of this yesterday morning. I raided Tipsy at the end of the Twitch stream, and he was on that map. And I was trying to remember what it was called, and my stupid brain couldn't remember the name for Norway, and I thought it was Norwegia for a second. Anyway, I like the game. Like, it's kind of arcadey. It's not super realistic for fishing, but it's fun. The legendaries just kind of completely put me off of it. It runs contrary to what a legendary fish experience should be. When's the new pack coming out? I want to say they said a couple weeks yet. What was the legendary system on the Angler? Or what is, I guess you should say, or I could say. It's basically, I think every week a new legendary, not a new legendary, but one of the existing legendaries like spawns. So there's a legendary catfish, bass, and lake trout. I think it's just those three right now. So let's say this week is the lake trout, next week it's maybe the catfish, the week after that it'll be the bass, and so on. It spawns in a new location every week. But once anybody in the world finds it, for the rest of that week, it's in the same location for everybody. All you gotta do is go catch it. That just is not a legendary fish to me. Like, to me, the way that I would do it is completely random spawn, not visible from the surface. By the way, it is visible from the surface now, always. And it should only bite on, like, a randomized, for that session, lure or type of bait. I would also not mind if included in that was a requirement for gear that could land it. Because it would be kind of pointless, like, say you hook into a, I don't know how big the catfish is, but let's say it's 30 pounds, I don't know, on a 1 pound line. Obviously, it's just not going to work. So they shouldn't even allow it to bite unless you can land it. It just seems like you could do so much more with it. The honey hole's in the same location for every person's map? Yes. And like I said, it's visible from the surface. So, like, once someone finds it and posts its location, everybody can go right to it. Anywhere. As I understand it, to be fair, I haven't done it, but that's what I've been told. And I've seen in, like, the Angler Discord, like, hey, where is it? When's the Angler go on sale? I wouldn't be shocked if there's a sale for it this summer, but couldn't tell you if there's going to be one prior to that. EW usually, like, has their stuff on sale for the summer sales and stuff. Best way to make money on Call of the Wild? Honestly, it's probably to shoot red deer and fallow deer on Te Aroa. What's up, JC? Doing good today, man. And no worries, we still got 35 minutes to go. $1 million stealth shot. For a second, I didn't know what you meant, but I do know what you mean. Got the Hunter Classic on my laptop. There you go. How rare are albinos in Whale Hunter? You know, I don't know the answer to that. Some people seem to get a lot of them. Some people, not so much. The blood spatter when you shoot a bird now is so good. 5, and that's all I'm offering. What is Patrick's line? 3, take it or leave it. Something like that. Well, that's a shame. It had a pretty nice estimate if it was at the bottom end. Red Fox on Yukon are good for money? They are, but I don't think you could ever find them in as big in numbers as you can find the red deer and fallow deer. How often do you stream? I really enjoy playing along with you. I'm sure we have, there we go, the schedule command, you can check that out. That was some clutch shoot gunning. If only I could have shoot gunned better when I was rabbit hunting. Honestly, 1 for 2, or actually sort of 1 for 3, was better than I thought I'd do. What is the future for hunting sim 2? Is that what you mean? I have not heard a thing about any hunting sim news in, like, boy, I don't know, since their Ranger update, I think it was called. Starshot, thank you for the $3 super chat. Okay, here you go. You got me. Appreciate you. You should do Trophy Lodge tours. So here's the thing. I was going to do Trophy Lodge tours, actually even back in Hunter Classic, like 6 years ago, whenever they came out. I thought that would be a neat idea. Ooh, another one. I never ended up doing ones in Classic. The problem with Call of the Wild ones is, my concern is, it encourages hacking or modding. I don't want to take part in encouraging that. I don't know how he goes about doing that. I don't know if he's joining Trophy Lodge sessions. I don't know if he has like a what would you call it, application for people to have their lodge shown. But almost no matter what, if the series catches on to where, you know, people want to have their modded stuff shown, they could easily find ways to do that. So I'm afraid of incentivizing modding or whatever. Shadow Cam would be cool. I've slacked so bad on doing that. I want to. She's actually, especially now, she's actually pretty good at, you know, staying in one place. Dang, another 7. Where are your big male friends, dude? I know you have big male friends. You're hiding them from me. Oh, what a... I don't know if I had a rock or what. Do you have a cat? I do not have a cat. We have a small doge who sometimes thinks she's a cat. She climbs on my desk and looks out the window. Tree down! Holy! I'd love to see a room by room lodge tour, and each room an episode where you show us the animal, then a 10 to 30 second clip of the actual kill if you'd have them all. I almost did that, because the end of 2021 lodge tour was, I think, 45 minutes. How long was the one this past year? It was stupid long. I'm gonna look it up, because it was the longest one I've ever did. It might have been over an hour. Hang on, let's see. Won't take too long to find. It was 54 minutes. End of 2023 lodge tour, it's hard for me to imagine that it wouldn't hit an hour. So I was gonna do it episode by episode like that, but I don't know how I'd release that. I don't know if, like, for a week straight it'd be nothing but Trophy Lodge tour content. I don't know if I do like every other day for 2 weeks kind of thing. But that would be a really cool way to do it. I think it would make the lodge tours more interesting. That's what puppies do. They climb on anything. I mean, true. She's especially cat-like, though, I think, in her... desire to sit on my desk and stare out the window for hours. Have you done Hall of Shame tour yet? I did one on stream one time. I don't know if I ever did a video of it. I did the Classic Lodge tour, and we've since added a couple of things, and we also have the Rares Lodge that I'd like to do a tour of for Classic. I do need to do that too. And the Classic ones I did the approach that Bottom Boy talked about, because there's way less total animals. You're talking like 10% of the amount of animals. So it lends itself to that type of tour, which is cool. Couple of 8+ raccoon dogs. That's probably the first time we've even done that in the same hunt before. She could grow up to be a guard dog. She certainly is a guard dog. Barking at anything that moves out there, whether it's on, you know, our land or not. If the neighbors are outside, if the neighbors' dog's outside, she's trying to make sure they're not getting too close. Were you the one that posted that in Discord Northwest? A 516 Rocky? That is the biggest one I'm aware of. Looking for squirrels? You know what's funny? When we bought this property, squirrels were all over the place. There's, I don't know, 4 or 5 walnut or oak trees in the yard here. I'm saying like 4 or 5 combined. I'm not confused between a walnut and an oak tree in case anybody's concerned. And there were squirrels just all the time in the yard going back and forth. Since we got Shadow, they are now spending most of their time in the woods. she has chased them all just, you know, they're spending their time a little 40 yards further back or something like that. Ryder, thank you so much for the super chat. What type of equipment would you like in Way the Hunter? A spotting scope is like priority number 1 if I'm the devs. I just think they've made this system that not necessarily incentivizes long shots, but with the way the zeroing works and the hunter sense that just like shows you the compensation for wind and stuff, it at the very least tempts you to go for long shots. But they also have made this system that, you know, punishes you like it's negative to shoot certain animals in the game. You know, 1-star youngs with 99% potential, and if you can't spot them, then taking those long shots is very risky. So a spotting scope, being able to spot things even at like 600 yards, would be fantastic. And then, other than that, a vertical bow at some stage would be cool. Maybe some actual camo, because at the moment, like spot and stock hunting to get within bow range is tough. Spot and stock to get within 80 yards for a gunshot, not really a big deal. It's pretty doable consistently with a crossbow. Other than Bison, I had a heck of a time with that. But if you're trying to get within 30 yards for a vertical bow, or 40, that's tough.
Not 3-star.
Dang. 3-star caribou look good. I'm going to have a hard time not shooting those.
Oh no.
If I can ever find one, that is. Got trolled by legendary max weight red deer. That's no good. I'm assuming you mean like max weight estimate, right? To be honest, I used to love jumping in the lodges, but more and more I'm seeing people buying and trading trophies and duplicate shot within minutes of each other, so it's kind of discouraging. Yeah. Trading was like, it was a big problem, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, and I know it still happens, but I feel like that's the least of our worries. There's just straight up hacked and modded stuff now that's definitely worse. And even, not even just trading, I think you said duping, right? Yeah. I told the story on stream not too long ago. One of the first lodges I ever went into, this guy had like albinos and, you know, rare elk and moose and stuff everywhere. I was like, wow, this dude, I thought I played a lot. And then I got to looking and there were 3 albino elk that were all 276, and I was like, huh? What are the odds of that? And I really looked and the antlers were the same and everything. And it occurred to me that obviously he had duped those things. I asked him about it. He's like, no, if you just play a lot, you can get a rare elk every day. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, ones that have the exact same score, that's pretty cool. Fancy little feature there. I think to balance the spotting, the scope maybe has a short set, short set up takedown animation. I'd be cool with that, like having to place a little tripod to have it set on. I think that'd be fine. I don't know that... Does being able to spot things from farther away take anything away from the game as is? Maybe a little bit. Not much though, like it's hard to shoot far. Even with the hunter sense dot, if you're shooting more than about 600-700 yards, it's still tough to get it lined up just right, because they're moving and stuff. I've never once been in another hunter's lodge as far as I know, hashtag no friends. Oof. Do people host? I guess they probably do. Do people host their lodges on console and stuff as well? Because on PC, maybe there's one at any given time. Usually there's none when I just happen to pass through looking for other maps, multiplayer games. Do you do any fishing? Primarily just here in the creek. We have a little creek that runs through the front yard. The plan this year is definitely to do some more. Sometime about a month and a half. I think we're going to do some trout fishing / camping. I want to, now that I'm a little more confident with Shadow in a tent, and I'm mostly talking about if she's going to pee on the sleeping bags or not, which last year I wasn't certain if she wouldn't do that. This year I'm quite confident she would not do that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think Shadow would really enjoy it. Xbox always has lodges open. Interesting. My console called the Wild Lodge. is pretty solid, but once I switched to PC, I lost a lot of drive for the game, which, it wasn't even a diamond, I know, I just realized that's the biggest of oops. Which thing, was it PC or console, where you shot the gold male level 5 Gensbuck that should have been a diamond, but it was at that time that they were only looking for animals that scored above the requirement and not greater than or equal to the requirement? Xbox? Okay. What's up, Ryder? How's it going, man? We have killed many a raccoon dog today. There's the diamond moose. So since then, about 10 of them, and there were a number before then too. Can live with that. Would have been one of the rarest super rares. It may have been the rarest super rare at the time. I think there was a melanistic diamond link shot. I don't know if it was before or after you got that. I think that probably still had it beat, but not by much. Are you still doing the Great One Black Bear grind? Yes, actually last week. It was literally the last Call of the Wild content we did prior to today. We killed a max weight, max score black bear on the grind. Right here on stream. Mountain Cluck is a beautiful mountain, isn't it? I feel less like I can keep the name of that. Because one thing I immediately thought of when we went up there and found that was the first person who ever climbed the tallest mountain on Valdebon Hunter Classic gave it a name, and that name kind of stuck within the community. And I was like, you know, it'd be kind of neat if we just sort of named this something goofy and everybody called it that, which is kind of happening, so I'm glad that it's there. But I didn't know that it was actually a specific reference to Chicken Alaska, which, if you don't know, if you look up Chicken Alaska, they do indeed have basically that exact same sculpture in the town of Chicken Alaska. So, whether or not we continue to call it Mount Cluck, I mean, it's not on a mountain, so I guess we can. But it wasn't the like, hey, there's a completely random weird Easter egg up here that I thought it was initially. Are there any rares that you've never seen? Definitely. I've never seen an albino or piebald raccoon dog. A bunch of birds. I've like a bunch of leucistics here on this map and albinos and stuff I haven't seen. It would mostly be new ones. Over the years, eventually, we've run into a lot of stuff, but I don't think I have an albino red fox. No albino or melanistic gray fox. Leucistic as well. Don't have one of those. Lots of males today. That's a really good sign. Either all that effort of like shooting the females as well as paying off and getting us better respawns, or we're just getting lucky. Maybe starting the hunt at 10 was a good idea instead of starting early. Next vid on Way the Hunter? Probably Wednesday or Thursday. Tomorrow's video is going to be classic. We're getting back to Let's Go Trophy Hunting. I may do Call the Wild Wednesday, may do Way the Hunter. Wednesday and Thursday, one should be Way the Hunter, one will be Call the Wild. Which order they're in, I'm not sure yet. I can tell you for certain, after this stream, I'm probably jumping back on Way the Hunter. I do have a 4-star elk that I think might get to 5-star. I just don't know. He's looking pretty gray in the face. If he gets to 5-star basically before tomorrow morning when I'd have time to record it, then Way the Hunter will certainly be Wednesday. If not, probably Thursday. Hopefully he's a 5-star. Hopefully crossbow fun, but it just depends on the entire thing. Easiest time to get? I think it's a Bathides Ibex. Most important tip for Way the Hunter. If you're used to Call of the Wild, just do everything one notch slower than you would do in Call of the Wild. So, if in Call of the Wild, you'd be running from lake to lake, walking Way the Hunter. If in Call of the Wild, you'd be walking towards an animal, crouch Way the Hunter. Basically that, and it's really hard to explain the proper method to, like, manage your herds in Way the Hunter, and truthfully, I don't know, like, I don't know every in and out of the system, but the way I understand it is, like, every male in that herd contributes in some way to the potential offspring. So I thought initially anything that wasn't going to make 5 stars, I thought like, yeah, shoot that because it's not going to be a 5-star. But you always want to be shooting like the lowest star rating male in a herd. And the other thing is too, like, this is a very do as I say, not as I do situation. I have a tendency, like, because I make content, right? People want to see like the biggest thing get shot. So sometimes I don't shoot the ideal thing for a herd because, you know, it's hard to look at something that's gonna die. Like say a 3-star moose that's really gray, and then there's a 1-star beside it. I might shoot the 3-star for the sake of having it in the video, but for the most part, like, you always want to shoot the lowest genetic potential, lowest fitness animal to, you know, have the best of respawns. Audiobooks? You know, it's funny, like, I don't want to say I'm a good speaker, because I'm definitely not. But I can do a pretty decent job of, like, articulating myself well when it's spontaneous. And I can kind of read the script. But even reading a script I struggle with. It's just, if I know what I need to say, I stumble over so many words. It's like my brain gets ahead of itself. I don't know that I could do it. Or like, whoever has to edit all the audio back together would hate me. Like, why did you do 100 takes of that sentence? I kept on combining the first 2 words, sorry. You can read? Yeah, I do have a kindergarten education. I can't remember what. I don't know if I stumbled over my words or said something stupid. Right after I had dropped out of college, we were sitting at the dinner table and whatever I did, you know, said something stupid, stumbled over my words, and my brother goes, "Did you drop out of college or kindergarten?" It's like, dang, that hurt, man. Holy pig education. Holy, holy, holy. Reading out loud is a skill? Reading out loud, it definitely is. Taking it a step further is like putting emotion into it or whatever. When I'm reading, and you guys can definitely tell, like if I tutorial videos or guide videos, I'm sure you notice that I'm reading off a script, but it almost has to be, because it's so easy to leave out key details if you don't have it scripted out. It's so hard to read a script the way that you would talk. It's really challenging. Because even what can happen is, you think you wrote the script one way. Like, unless you just wrote it, when you go back to read it, you think of the way you would say it, and you almost go to say that, but then actually it's something else, and either you stumble over that, or you're placing emphasis on wrong syllables. It is a challenge. I got trained how to read out loud with inflection and stuff for speaking in school, that's how I know. I never did. There was a public speaking class in my high school, and I never took it. It probably would have benefited me given the career path I chose, but that would have been a scary time. Where did you go to college? It was a really small local college, so I probably won't give the name of it. What's up, Brody? I love telling people I have a PhD, plain high school diploma. I have a PhD in big males, don't you know? Gotta ask, was it worth it, you dropping out? Gotta respect your choice of doing what you want. I mean, ultimately, yeah, it was definitely worth it. None of the positive things in my life are there. Like, that are current. I'm not saying I wouldn't have had positive things happen, but none of the current things would have. Like, if I didn't continue to do YouTube, wouldn't know Kylo, wouldn't have this house, like, none of those things. So, I don't regret it for a second. Like, everything that has stemmed from that, some bad, but, like, mostly entirely good, has led to where I am, so I'm 100%, like, happy and would make the same decision 100 times out of 100. But it definitely, like, I guess what I'm saying is, it wasn't even that I was doing what I wanted when I dropped out of college. It was that I was just trying to do something that wasn't that. I just knew that at that stage, I realized college wasn't for me. Just wasn't. I'm I'm not saying like higher education wasn't for me either, but the current system, the way that college works, just didn't fit for me, and that's fine. Like, some people don't. It's just not their thing. Sounds good to hear that it's been mostly positive to you. It definitely has. Like, I love getting to do this. I mean, even what I was going to college for was like computer science, and the reason was like I loved writing programs and like making something from scratch, and that's effectively what making a video is. Literally every single day, start with nothing, record for several hours, edit that down, thumbnail, like title, everything is like unique every day. Even if it's the same games, it's still like a creative process, which is just kind of like my thing. So, to answer your question in a very long way, yes, 100% worth it. Wait, what did I miss there, bottom boy? Met through Meat Hunter and Kylo was the hunter? I'm missing something. What is this? What are those? I'm only in college because the trade school program I'm in sends me for free, but I'd much rather not have gone. Yeah, I think, because there were several layers to it. I was in college on not a full scholarship, but like I was pretty good in high school. I think I was number 5 in my class, so I had a pretty good scholarship, but there was a requirement that I had to be, I don't even remember what GPA I had to have, but I had to like do decent in college to keep that scholarship throughout the entirety of it. And it was like semester 3. And I was just like, nah. I literally cannot keep up with all these classes that have nothing to do with what I'm passionate about. I don't care, like I'm not putting the time in. I'm gonna lose my scholarship. I'm already in a certain amount of debt that, wasn't covered by the scholarship. And I'm not gonna use my degree. I can already tell that it ain't gonna work. Like, all these things came to a head. It was some thick depression times too, but everything happened at once, and I'm glad it did, because that was the biggest thing. That realization that I was like, I don't think I want to do computer science as like a job. If I get a degree in this and spend, I don't know what it actually would have been in the end, still would have been close to 6 figures in debt. That just would have been absurd to not have any use for that degree. Did you go to PSU? No, I did not. Though, I think, I want to say, my college's computer science program I was in, the final year of it, I think it was at Penn State, or at Pitt, Maine, maybe? I actually don't remember. Big Bane? Really unfortunate you try to compliment my intelligence and I can't even read the word brain. Oh dear. I like my major because not all of the classes deal directly with my major, not to mention the trip to Africa. Yeah, like, I actually think if, and again, like, I understand why college is designed this way with all the gen ed courses, but I think without gen ed, probably I've graduated college by now. Like, I was perfectly willing to put in the work for computer science related stuff, but like these random classes I had to take, I gave literally not a 1/12 of a care about any of them. Didn't show up to like any of them. I was just like, I'm not going this. I gotta be up at 7 for calculus class. I'm taking a nap, sorry. And yeah, that got me into a rough situation because it turns out they don't like when you just don't show up. I was doing fine in them, by the way. Like, I didn't even have to be there to learn anything. Other than physics. That one I was not doing fine in. Are you close to Clarion County? I can't be terribly far away. Well, actually, let me look that up. I'm within, I think, an hour and a half of the Clarion River, but PA County map. Yeah, kinda. Out kind of Pittsburgh-ish way. I'd say it's an hour and a half, 2 hours, yeah. Why would a computer scientist need calc? I think it's I do think for computer scientists, understanding the math behind what you're doing can actually be pretty important. In the end, like, you just need the formula, and you need to be able to program it properly, but actually having a grasp of it can help you do that better. I don't know if physics is as important, but that kind of is that same thing. I do think I probably needed to have, like, at least a rudimentary understanding of physics. But if it was, I don't know, English, had a horrible time with any kind of college English courses. Not because they're hard, but because I didn't care. Just, I could not. I worked for, basically, like, I was up at 7? Yeah, it was an 8 o'clock course. I was up at 7 because I didn't live on campus. Trying to save money. Drive there, work till 10 p.m., drive home, get home at 11. Whatever, like, computer program stuff, homework I would do, I wasn't about to write an essay about whatever the heck subject she would come up with. Going for an environmental science degree in the mathematics after a while are horrid. How far do you have to go with it? Because I only had to go to Calc 2, I think. My friend was I don't even know if he ended up doing it. I basically dropped out, and last time I talked to him was after I shot that big male, but he was going to be a dentist, and he had to take up to Calc 4, which is nuts. Why? Why do you need Calc 4? I don't get it. I'm sure it's some kind of doctorate degree, but still. Learning math and formulas programs the brain to... Oh, I understand. Reread that. Learning math and formulas programs the brain to problem solve. Still not for me, though. I like problem solving and stuff. Like, I actually... When I took the time to try to learn calculus, I kind of enjoyed it. Physics I couldn't do. Not that I didn't understand it, it didn't feel as problem solving to me. Had to go up to Calc 2, unfortunately. From my experience in it, Calc 2 is not terrible. It's a bunch of derivatives and then whatever the next step is, I can't remember. What are you aiming for the chest on?
Huh?
What are you aiming for the chest on with a shotgun or something?
If anyone decides to stalk us.
Oh, okay. Business major, nice. I heard at my high school half the classes I want get me college credits, so I'm kind of excited for that. Hopefully you can do better with that than I did. Because my high school was the same way. I think I had 28, 30 college credits. But the way that they worked out, it basically did me no good. Like, it didn't help me at all. What kind of car do you drive? I have a 2016 F-150. I love it. It's mostly because, you know, I grew up with fixer-uppers, basically. When I would have been about 10, my parents got, like, a relatively new Ford Mountaineer. So, and I'm sure it was because, like, you know, anytime that my mom had to take us somewhere, Dad would have peace of mind that we weren't going to, like, break down or whatever. But then other than that, like, my first vehicle was, like, a really junky Explorer Sport, and then my first truck was an 06 F-150 that I got in maybe 2018 or something, and other such vehicles, too. So, like, having one that's, like, new and has, like, a lot of the bells and whistles, it's like, whoa, this thing's cool. I like this truck. GMC for the win? No, you. You're just mad that, I don't know. That you're in Canada. Ha! Oh yeah, with a big bear scratched up mirror? Yeah. I gotta post that video. I don't know why I haven't. I'm lazy, I guess. I took the video of the fact that it happened. A bear, when I was in Tennessee, beat up the passenger side mirror of my truck a little bit. Not when I was in it. This is what happens every time I get asked what I drive, because I say it's an F-150 and everyone's like, there's all the people who are like, yeah, Ford, and then everyone else is like, found on road dead, what's wrong with you? Stick with my 03 Tundra, there you go. I am of the opinion that I don't care what you drive, if it gets you from A to B, hell yeah, great. What's a Ford Mountaineer? It's like a, I guess a full-size SUV, you'd call it. compare to a... Oh, what the heck. What are them things? Not Yukons. Kind of like a Yukon. Why can't I think of it? Somebody's going to say it, I think, because it's like the most popular kind of SUV from... Heard of a Mercury Mountaineer? Oh, yeah. I don't know why I didn't say the Mercury part. That's what it was. Tahoe, yes, thank you. Huh?
I said I like Tahoes. That's my like future mom car.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I'm thinking.
You can be a soccer mom?
I mean, I used to play soccer.
I know, that's why I asked.
I ain't gonna have a van though.
You can show up in the F-150. Suburban? I did mean a Tahoe, but Suburban also, you could compare it to that too. Diamond for Blacktail, I think 177.5. I cannot believe it's almost 5 o'clock. This has been the fastest going stream, probably because I haven't played Call in a while for a week, and it's just like, all, not new, but it's fresh. It's a good thing, maybe we should take more breaks from it, although I don't think, unless Way the Hunter has a major content update, I don't think the channel could sustain itself as well. Little Flantro's confirmed? I mean, not yet. They're in the roadmap. Hey, a 4. So they'll just land if we sit here. And we're basically ready to wrap up and go back and put the moose in the lodge, so I have a tripod over here for such things. We'll just jump in it and plink a goose or two. I will die before I own/drive a minivan. One of my friends in high school, his mom drove a minivan, and they were like the parents that were like at every baseball game, like mom and dad at every game, and they would also drive us to and from like the school to practice, and then, you know, drop us off at some central location to go home and everything. And I don't know, we had 2 inches of snow, and that thing got stuck in their driveway. They pulled it out with a 4-wheeler. It was great. What's up, Mel? Just on time. We did kill a max weight moose today. So now I can't decide if I should just grind on Revontuli. Man, maybe I'll do that. I don't want to start over. I don't want to grind to begin with, frankly, but... Oh, we'll see. Should be a pretty awesome soccer mom rolled up in an F-150. Got her sunglasses on. Get a lift kit. Don't actually do that. Where was the... I want to get the 3 too, but... Where's the 4 at? He's still circling around? Those are the bean gooses. Every car is a bad car if it ain't a Volvo? You tell him. Where? There he is, way back there. Alright, I think that's like 250? Should be... right about like that. So if you don't drop geese, when you shoot them with a 22, the entire flock will fly away. Like that. So glad we dropped the 4. Got both of them, we'll fast travel back, slap the moose in the lodge, and that'll be a wrap. But this was a good stream. Good times. Just got back into the game and your vids. Glad to see you still doing it. Well, glad to see you're still around. Appreciate you jumping back in here. What are the odds we can spot that 3 real quick? And get him. The spotting him part's one thing. The getting him part, there's a 2. I mean, I'd rather get a male than nothing. Probably still gonna miss. Is he gonna circle back around? Or just kinda... I swear Shadow has a clock. There we go. It gets to be like 4:58. She's like, alright, I'm up. Time to go. Dumby. To be honest, never had much luck with ducks in Call of the Wild. It's kind of one of those things you have to put in a little bit of time. Like, you do just have to shoot a number of them until a decent one shows up. That ain't too bad. So I'm thinking... Did that 3 float? No. Is it in the decoys? They don't render. It's too far away, so when you get up here to pick stuff up, it can be a little bit hard to find them. I know I didn't pick it up. Intriguing. Is it that important? Not really, but I would have liked to have claimed it. Well, just go and get the 2. I'm new to Call of the Wild PC. Should I go for the 7 mil? I would certainly recommend it. I have a lack of brain cells, Danny. It's my defining feature, actually. What? Oh, Shadow. They just never showed after like all the updates and stuff. I just never had that many. With the waterfowl rework, if you have decoys out, you should be getting flocks to spawn, I don't know, once every 5 minutes. It's pretty consistent if you're in a halfway decent spot. If you're after geese, for instance, this lake here has both gray lags and tundra bean geese, so it is darn near nonstop. Knock off Dobby. Dobby. I thought that was a rare for a second, but I guess not. Pretty sure that Gray's coming. Alright, let's go put a moose on the wall. And I don't even think we're going to put it in the grinding lodge, because probably worthy of a... Oh, I went to the wrong one. This is the grinding lodge. Don't need to call anymore for ducks? Yeah, the calls are just kind of there to like distract you. I don't know that they do much. Maybe they help the ducks like circle a little bit closer to you, but it's not a huge difference between just having the decoys and not calling. So the one question is, where are we going to place this guy? We have a lot of moose in this lodge, but they do look good. Don't think there's anything in here I want to take down. The grinding lodge. Why would you practice a weird 2000s form of dancing in a specific lodge? I mean, would you want to desecrate this lodge with such heinous acts? I don't know what I'm saying. That's a level 4 diamond I don't want to take down. By the way, we lag in this lodge. I gotta get a better graphics card. The hope is after tax returns to do that. Definitely not taking that down. This do beat the challenge. Don't think I want to take any of those down. Maybe in this other room? The 243 pistol seems more powerful with the rifle version. I need to test that. What was that other thing? I want to compare the muzzleloaders. I might try to do that this week. That might be fun. So we could take down basically a max score grizzly or a pretty thick Cape Buffalo. One sec. What moose do I have in this lodge? Because there's like, I want to have one of every rack. All these are the same rack. Let's take down one of these. They're not the exact same. If you look, the brow tines are actually different, but maybe the one up top. Get the big male looking down over his friends, even though the frame isn't nearly as large, the amount of tines. Gets that score there. And I think I'll stop running so we don't have the terrible head and antler bob. Max score for moose, I don't think you'll see many above like 302 or 303. Is this new? Is what new? Big decisions, I know. I really try to get as much variety in this lodge as possible. From the very beginning, I always wanted to have like a semi-realistic lodge, and no real life hunter would have all the like the rares that you would encounter in Call of the Wild, but I try to like make things, you know, not just a row of big male elk and stuff. I try to change it up. Diamond for Goldeneye, I think is 1230. Been in and out a lot, that moose. The 298 we killed today, yeah. Need a bigger lodge DLC, like one 4 times the size of this? I can only imagine the lag. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap the stream up. We got a diamond on Revontuli again, not one of the ones we're after. But the amount of raccoon dogs we got today, like, that genuinely may help us. One of these days, too, I need to do a night hunt for them. That could be a fun video, too. Got some video ideas maybe we need to make happen. Anyway, I think that is going to do it for this stream. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video back in the Hunter Classic. Bye!